Hi, Ben Darby here from Darby Solicitors, and welcome to another of my vlogs. This vlog I've called Being Scam Aware. As always with these sessions, there's a bit of guidance, not advice. I mean, I can't give advice really on scams anyway, but the reality is it should be a bit of aware of a few things that are happening at the moment. What we're finding across the whole country is there is a massive increase of reporting in scams and people being attempted to be scammed. And indeed, the local council authorities last summer, so the summer of 2020, reported a 40% increase in scams, attempted scams during lockdown and during the COVID pandemic. So this session is really just to quickly go through a few things that you should be aware of and a few things that you can do potentially to protect yourself. Right, types of scam. The first one I'm going to deal with is doorstep scams. Right, there's nothing new here. You know, we all worry, I'm going to come on to internet and email scams later, but these are the good old-fashioned, I say good, but the good old-fashioned simple scams that occur. Not everything is modern. I even remember my own grandmother talking to me about what she called door knockers, and she's not talking about sort of the lion's head hanging on your front door to knock, to let someone know you're there. We're talking about people who used to come to the door trying to buy things off elderly or vulnerable people. This is still a potential. It really is still a potential, and these are things that I certainly grew up with seeing. Public relations and public marketing materials coming out of government about being aware of doorstep scams. Really, just what I'm saying to you is be cautious. Don't answer your door to cold callers. Put a sticker in your window if you wish saying no cold callers. If you're concerned, put a spy hole on your front door. If you're concerned, put a keychain on your front door so that no one can force their way in. Incredibly unlikely someone's going to force their way in. It does happen, but it's very rare, mercifully. And I say that with a long history of working in criminal defence. But the other thing you can do is if you need a tradesman or a professional or a carer or someone to come to your property, make sure you do it by appointment. Make sure you arrange it in advance and you have control of it. And when they arrive, ask for identification. Anyone who is genuine, anyone who is there by appointment will have no problem whatsoever by producing identification for you. So as always, be cautious. Mail scams, once again, not new. This is not something from the modern world. Mail scams have been out there for years. I'm talking about those letters that come through your front door that say, oh, you've won a prize, or you've come up in our lottery, just send us £25, or send us your bank details and you can claim your prize. What they're after is your money, if they're asking you to pay for a prize, and two, they're asking for your bank details. Be cautious about things that are where, you know, there's a limited time, there's an urgency, you have to do things quickly. Things like lucky dips, lotteries, things that you've not entered into, competitions that you've won that you've not entered into. Please, please, please be very, very cautious of these. And one of the things you can do, you can sign up to Royal Mail's Mail Preference Scheme. Now, Mail Preference Scheme is not going to stop scams coming through your letterbox, but it will stop unwanted marketing post coming through. It won't stop scams because scammers are criminals and they are not going to pay any attention to any protective schemes. They're going to try to circumnavigate their schemes all the time. So, but be cautious, have a really sort of cynical eye when you read these things. Telephone scams, a bit more modern than your door knockers, but still telephone scams are exactly not modern. But what has happened in recent years with telephone scams is perhaps what people are after. They are after your personal details. They are after your bank details, your national insurance number, your date of birth, your name and address. I mean, name and address is readily available. But once again, be very cautious. Now, what you can do about telephone scams, if someone phones up and say, oh, hi, it's Margaret here from your bank, can you please confirm the following details for me? If you're concerned that's not a genuine phone call, it's not someone you know or recognise from your local branch or whatever it is, or a phone call that you're not expecting, say to them, I'm going to hang up, I will call you back. They may give you a reference number. They may say to you, well, when you call back, ask for this department, or when you call back, ask for, give this reference number. Don't call them back on a number they give you or the number they called you on. Go to the internet or go to whatever records you've got and find, I mean, it's the bank, the phone number for your bank's on the back of your card. use their known phone number and then ask to be put through to the relevant department. Never give out on your telephone any of your personal details to anyone unless you are 100% sure you know the person you're dealing with on the phone, 100% sure you trust that person, and 100% sure that that person needs your details. You know, your solicitor or accountant might need your bank details, but let's be honest, your bank's not going to need your bank details. So they should know that from their own security systems. Also, you know, if you've got, I don't know, a tradesman, he or she doesn't need your bank details. Right, now on to the modern stuff. Internet email scams. Now, these can be particularly hard to spot because some of them are incredibly sophisticated. What you've got to really look out for is something that's come into your email inbox or on your internet as a bit of a surprise. It's not something you've triggered, it's something that's out of the ordinary. There's something that doesn't feel right. And really trust your gut reaction on this. You know, trust your gut feelings. So some of the examples we see are, for example, let's say you've had a plumber in who's done some work for you. It could be a plumber, it could be a builder, it could be a lawyer, it could be anyone. But let's just say for this scenario, a plumber. And he say, oh, I'll email you an invoice. Now you've got an invoice, but he suddenly emails you again and says, oh, sorry, my bank details have changed. And he gives you new bank details. Anytime you get an email like that from anyone, it could be a solicitor, an accountant, a bank, a plumber, anyone whatsoever, even someone you have a long relationship, if their bank details change, phone and check the bank details over the phone or in person if it's someone you're meeting. Always double check them. Scammers, email scammers are quite clever and quite adept at hacking into, say, the plumber's, in this scenario, the plumber's email account and then emailing you with the new bank details. And he's basically hijacked that email account and then is trying to get you to send money to you and not to the plumber. So always phone and check those bank details. You think, oh, it's a bit of an inconvenience, a bit awkward. My firm will do 800, 900 conveyancing transactions this year. Every time we transfer money, we phone the other solicitors, we phone our clients to verify their bank details. We do it all the time. It must be part of your normal routine when dealing with money. Internet email scams more as well. Try to protect yourself a bit. Keep your computer up to date. You will find when you shut down your computer, it will say shut down and update, shut down and update. Do those updates. They're invariably free. They're almost certainly free all the time. And what's happening when your computer updates is people at Microsoft or Apple or whoever it may be, Hewlett Packard, who are updating your computer, are continually in the background finding recognized viruses, recognized problems in software or attacks or hacks, and they're shutting them out. So every time you are upgrading your computer and uploading and updating your computer, you're updating it to a stronger set of security protocols. Also, use the most recent browser you've got. So you might be using Google, you might be using Firefox, Safari, whatever the browser is. So that's the thing you look at the internet with. There will be the opportunity to update those. Keep those updated and use the most modern versions of them. Anything you use online with passwords, really stating the obvious here, have different passwords and PIN numbers for different accounts. You know, you find a way of storing them safely. If you can't remember them, it has to be really secure and safe, but don't make them really predictable. Don't make them the same across all your accounts. You know, it's one thing having your Netflix account with one password, but you don't want the same password on your Netflix account that's on your bank. You know, these are two very different levels of security to look at. The other thing to look at is something called two-factor authentication. Now, two-factor, don't really trouble your mind about this too much, but you will have two-factor authentication. So you might only access your certain accounts from a certain device, whether it's an iPhone or PC or whatever it is. But look at that. So that's where the computer recognizes it's you from your computer, and you're putting in a password, and you're using Face ID or fingerprint ID or whatever it is. But try to keep as much protection as possible. Okay, current one, COVID scams. Now, scams, as I've said above, you know, I've said before, you know, these are all different types of scams. COVID scams are really specific to what's going on now. Really keep an eye out for some of these. You're looking at fake government and charity emails. They're sort of telling you, provide information online, upload your information, you'll get your grant, your government grant. there is very low likelihood that's going to come from a government agency or charity direct. If you think you're entitled to a government or charity grant, go to their website, use their online portal and go through that, okay? Because if you just go on, click here to claim your grant in a random email that you're not expecting, you're probably going to a fake website and you'll be uploading your bank details, all your personal details, and it's gone. So always use the recognised.gov websites, for example, and people you know. Look out for scammers saying, oh, we'll help you with your benefit claim. This is happening quite a lot with universal credit. Whether that's been clamped down a bit now, I'm not really sure, but it certainly was happening quite a lot in 2020, where people are wanting payment for their assistance to get your universal credit. If you're entitled to universal credit, for example, you're entitled. That's your application. There's process there. Benefits agency will help you. Citizen advice will help you. There's plenty of help out there. Don't use private companies to help you with that. Also, another scam that's going around or has gone around is fake COVID contact emails. An email comes through to say, oh, we're track and trace, and we've got a, we believe you've been in contact with somebody. Please upload your details here. They're after your details. Use the NHS app if you want to have that track and trace functionality, because you know it's secure. Fake adverts for PPE, fake adverts for vaccines and for test kits. Use trusted suppliers. When it comes to the vaccines, the only trusted supplier in this country at the moment, as I understand it, is the NHS, or any part of the medical infrastructure in this country. Don't go looking for vaccines online. Don't go, you know, if you want to buy test kits, you can go online, but look at them, research the market, see who's there, see who's the trusted advisors and trusted suppliers. Other ones, fake TV licensing, TV subscriptions, social media accounts, these are all out there, investment companies. If somebody is just contacting you out of the blue saying, oh, we manage your pension for you, be like, well, be really cautious. Go to that company's website, look them up. You know, have a look who they are. Are they regulated? Like pension companies, they're regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority, lawyers, Law Society, or the SRA, or whoever. Do your research. Don't just click on links. But the fake TV licensing and, you know, TV subscription ones are flying around out there as well. TV license saying, oh, get your pandemic grant here. As I said before, go to the websites and see if you've got any entitlement. Overall, be cautious. Be cautious. Be wary. Be very, very skeptical of what you get in your email box or flags on a pop-up on an internet search. Okay? What can you do? So, I mean, I've targeted a lot of this session at perhaps people who are more elderly or vulnerable, but, you know, get help. Look at the mail forwarding options. So if you're worried about what's coming in the post, if you've got a family or relative who can look after your post for you, ask them to help you. Speak to Citizens Advice, speak to your bank, speak to trusted advisors. You've got telephone preference services to stop those cold calls coming on your phone. You've got mail preference services to stop those marketing correspondence coming through your front door. Won't stop all the scams, but it will stop a lot of the nuisance calls. Also, if you are an elderly or vulnerable person who doesn't want the worry and management of this, give consideration to lasting powers of attorney. You can appoint someone to manage your affairs for you, and this is something that could be done under a property and finance power of attorney, where they're managing your all those finances for you and gives you an extra layer of protection. That could be a family member, a professional person, a long-standing friend, someone you trust to manage that for you. I will be doing a Q&A session this Thursday evening on this subject here on Facebook Live, and I look forward to seeing you there.